Everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you as always is your host, Trent D'Alton, and it is the preview episode as we get ready to preview all of the round 20 action. As I keep saying, it's getting closer to finals, and just 5 more games to go to the last round. Then we can have that finals bye. Going into finals, and the competition is heating up. I don't see the 8 changing much. I think there's still only 10 teams that can make it. If you haven't already, make sure to go back and have a look at my review episode that I just posted, where I review all the action from round 19 and go over everything there. And I also went over the ladder, so we won't bother doing it here. But what we will do is give my tips, previews, and predictions for round 20, starting off with Thursday night action. Let's go. All right, so Thursday night, first up, we got Hawthorn v Carlton at the MCG, 7:30 p.m. Now, a couple of big news is coming out of this game. First of all, Will Day is ready for a return. That's big news for Hawthorn. They have missed him in that midfield. Hopefully, he can keep his body right and play all the way to the end of the final series and have a really good run at it to try and push these Hawks to see how deep they can go in September. And as for Carlton, it was a sad day as Sam Docherty today announced that this Thursday night will be his last game of AFL ever. Now, Sam Docherty has been a terrific player for Carlton and just in general. Obviously, I'm just going to pull up some of his accolades, but obviously had the numerous amount of injuries and obviously beat cancer twice. Testicular cancer twice. And yes, we have a look here. Obviously, started at the Brisbane Lions, then came over to the Blues. 179 games. He was a 2017 All-Australian. He was co-captain from 2019 to 2021, and he's a 2-time David Parker medalist, which is the Carlton Beanhead. So just a great story of resilience, being able to come back from all those injuries and the cancer battle. And sad to see him go out like this, but I think the timing is right. He's played some okay for you this year, but just looks a little bit off. He's 31 years old, and by all means, like, you've gone through enough. I think it's a perfect time to call it. So best wishes and congratulations to Sam Docherty on a great career. As for the game itself, Carlton got the much-needed win that they needed against Melbourne. I personally tipped Melbourne last week. I just thought that I was not impressed by Carlton at all. But it was good to see Charlie Curnow back on the scoring board after a few dull weeks. And good to see youngster Ashton Moyer show a bit, kicking 4 goals down there. Obviously taking a while, a little bit to come on. They've made him earn his spot, and that was one of his breakout games there, so see if he can build from that. But Hawthorn are just too clean. Dylan Moore was outstanding last week with 32 and 2. James Warple's been playing some really good footy. I mentioned it's going to be a question about that forward line, how they move it going forward. But the small forwards are elite. Jar Manipi, whether he's playing on the wing or down in the back line, has been excellent. Lloyd Meek dominates and just bullies in the ruck. So I'm going to be going Hawthorn. And as for the margin, I'm going to be going the Hawks. I'm going to be going the Hawks by 38 points to kick off Thursday night footy. Then we head over to Friday night footy at Marvel Stadium, and it is the Bombers v the Bulldogs. Now, great news for the Bulldogs as Marcus Bontempelli has announced that he has put pen to paper for a 4-year extension to stay at the Dogs. Was never in doubt, but geez, did he leave it really late to confirm it and put pen to paper. Was not impressed with the drive-by he gave my boys at Collingwood. Was not happy at all, but all good for the game. Great theatre, but get stuff, Marcus. Nah. But yeah, great theatre. I loved how he did that, but it was just like, as a Collingwood supporter, I was like, ouch. But we know the story with the Bulldogs, especially when it's at Marvel and they play a team lower on the ladder than them, they just bully them. So it's 9th v 14th, and I don't think this will be any different. I don't see who Essendon play on Ridley. Ridley plays for Essendon. I don't see who Essendon have that will be able to stop the likes of Darcy. And I think the midfield will just overpower them way too much. So I'm going to go to the Bulldogs there. But it's a double-header Friday night, which is a very interesting decision because I personally will be watching this game as it is the Battle of the Bridge, GWS v Sydney, 6th v 10th. Now, last time, GWS are going to be looking to respond. It's their home game at the NG. they're going to be looking to respond because they were very, very disappointing last time going down to the Sydney Swans, who were very much struggling at the start of that season. Early May it was. I was actually watching it at my brother's birthday. We were at the pub, Amstel, and I was sitting there watching. I couldn't believe, I think Sydney came out and kicked up, I want to say it was the first 5 or 6. And they came out and just dominated. So GWS Giants are going to want to get one back on them, and I think they do with it. Tom Green and Finn Callahan in excellent form through that midfield. Jesse Hogan up front. The emergence of Aaron Cadman. I think Jake Riccardi's also been one who's gone underrated, playing as that second, third tall. Can also go into the ruck and pinch hit, but it's constantly kicking goals and kicking multiple goals. So I'm going to be going with the Giants with this one, and I'm going to be going with them pretty comfortably. The kickoff Saturday at 1:20 p.m, another team that are going to want to bounce back. People First Stadium, Gold Coast Suns v the Brisbane Lions. The Gold Coast Suns were embarrassing last week against the Adelaide Crows. It was a game where they really needed to fight, and they didn't. Adelaide Crows bullied them and just dominated them, really. But this is different. Gold Coast are back at home at People First Stadium, but they are coming up against the Brisbane Lions, who are yet to put consistent 4 quarters of footy together. But when they put those quarters of footy together, geez, they look dangerous. Obviously, the rating premiers, and I'm going to be going with the Brisbane Lions. In this one, I'm really looking forward to the midfield battle. Lockie Neal, Josh Dunkley. Lockie Neal, Josh Dunkley, Hugh McCluggage v Noah Anderson, Matt Rao. And it's probably now Sam Flanders with Took Miller going down. Bally Humphrey will obviously run through there, as will Zach Bailey will run through there for the Lions. Cam Rayner. That's one I'm really looking forward to. But I'm going to be going with the Brisbane Lions. I just think they're really starting to hum at the right time. Then 4:15 p.m, it's the Derby. Freo v West Coast. Now, Freo are riding the high after a big win against the Collingwood Magpies by 1 point at the MCG last round, and I don't see them going down here. It would be a real big disappointment if they did drop this game in the Derby, and I don't see them doing it. I hope they take on board what they did in the last quarter against the Pies, where they took the game on, used the middle of the ground and moved the ball fast, because they've got the speed and the players with the ball skills behind the ball to be able to do that. So a bit more free play like that, if they are able to use that, I think they could be a really dangerous side. So I'm going to be going with the Dockers. Then it's doubleheader again on Saturday night. First off, Marvel Stadium, the North Melbourne v Geelong. Geez, North Melbourne are just so far behind. They're just, I don't know what to say from them anymore. I'm sick of sticking up for them. The fact that they let Heaney run wild and especially kick 3 goals in that last quarter, he had 34 and 5. If they do that against Bailey Smith and Max Holmes again, I'll be so disappointed. It'd be interested to see who gets the job on Jeremy Cameron, because if you don't pay enough watch to him, he'll run wide. But I think the Cats will just flex their muscles and win by 10-plus goals. And the other game is the showdown. Now, we know how much fire there is in this game. Whenever the Adelaide and Port Adelaide come against each other, they really do hate each other. So a double state showdown on Saturday night. But Adelaide v Port Adelaide, I mentioned in the last episode, Adelaide have now cemented themselves as the real deal. They currently sit third on the ladder. A big convincing win over Gold Coast Suns last week. And Port Adelaide currently sit 11th, went down to Hawthorn in Tassie, but it's always hard to go up against Hawks in Tassie. But there's no doubt that they will show up for the showdown. No showdown, I believe, will be a thrashing, but I think the Crows will just get this done through the likes of their forwards, Fogarty, Thilthorpe, Walker, then through the middle, Dawson, Keys playing that pressure forward and just racking up touches and kicking goals. So I'm going to be going with the Crows for this one. Then on Sunday at the MCG, 2:10 p.m, we've got the Tigers v the Magpies. Now, the Tigers have had a really good season, in my opinion, for a team that wasn't supposed to win a game. They have, I want to say they've won 5. Yeah, so they've won 5 games for a team that some expected not to even win a game. That's huge. And Collingwood are off the back of 2 losses in a row. Now only sitting a half a game in front, on top of the ladder of Brisbane in second. Some people are saying other wheels falling off, but I think it's not. But if it'll be some real big questions asked if Collingwood were to drop this. Now, the thing with Collingwood is, against these teams, they never really thrash them. They give them a sniff, which Keeps you on edge as a Collingwood supporter, I might add. But I don't think they'll dominate him, but I expect them to get it done pretty comfortably in the end. Then the last game of the round at Marvel Stadium is the St Kilda Football Club v Melbourne, 15 v 13. Not a very exciting game, but we know the Saints are a different breed at Marvel Stadium, and I expect them to win this game. Be interesting to see if they play Wangani Malira again through the midfield. I hope they do. 36-2 with 10 clearances was absolutely phenomenal. Don't think Melbourne would have anyone that would be able to run with him, and especially the best part about him is he gathers the ball so much, but he still uses the ball beautifully. So I'm going to be going with the St Kilda Football Club there over Melbourne purely because it is at Marvel. Well, there are my tips, previews, and predictions for round 20. Let's quickly go over my tips before we end this episode. Then I've gone with Thursday night, gone with the Hawks by 38 points over Carlton. Friday night doubleheader. First, I've gone with the Doggies over the Bombers. And then the second game in the Battle of the Bridge, I've gone with the Giants to respond after losing the first edition of the Battle of the Bridge earlier this season over the Swans. Saturday, 1:20 p.m, I've gone with the Brisbane Lions to defeat Gold Coast at home in People First Stadium. Then we got 4:15 p.m, the Derby. I'm going with the Dockers over the Eagles. Then 7:35 p.m. at Marvel, gone with Geelong over North. 8:10 p.m, I've gone with Adelaide over Port in the showdown. Then 2 games on Sunday, I've gone with Collingwood to beat Richmond and St Kilda to beat Melbourne at home at Marvel. Well, there's my tips, previews, and predictions for round 20 as we get closer to September. You can feel it in the air. It's getting really exciting. Thank you guys for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss an upload. If you're listening to this via Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a like on this episode, and like and comment on this episode. Hit that follow button, turn the notification bell so you don't miss whenever we upload an episode. And as always, guys, make sure to leave a 5-star rating if you did enjoy this episode or enjoy the show in general, as that does help push the show out there and we can grow our fan base. Thank you guys for listening, and until next time, I'll see you guys then.